Hey everybody, finally got here during the daytime, well, early evening at least, to see the sculptures and some sunlight. And see the sun is going down behind the Santa Cruz Mountains here. So I'll have to come back to the Stanford campus again to get better shots with overhead sunlight. But I figured out while I'm here, coming through, I would get a quick shot while the sun is still up and the clouds have receded a little bit. Had some beautiful, ooh, there's a nice, no, it's just graffiti on the ground. There was a nice hummingbird while I was getting the stream started, and you missed it. It was Anna's hummingbird male singing like crazy. And as soon as the stream started, he flew away, so you missed it. So I'm going to run here real quick just to show you some of the sculptures during the day. Again, you refer to my other stream for all the details. I've got all the signage captured and stuff, so I'm going to do all that now because light is limited. But I wanted to capture this real quick so you guys can see in all the glory these really fun New Guinea sculptures. These were done about 20 years ago, I think. These were put in. Again, I refer to it on my stream. So a lot of these have little animals mixed in. This one's cool, actually. I missed the skulls on the bottom. This is kind of humanoid lizard thingy, but then it has skulls at the bottom. That's for Wagyu, very metal. And more artwork. Some are faces. Some are just crazy designs. Some are like totems on rock. Some look like this kind of a frog face hat almost. And then a big happy face with shells for eyes. And then a very happy guy, because, you know, he's John Holmes. So some more animals on the sides with the little baby. And again, stacked animals and people stacked in these little carvings, very much like the totems, but these are in stone. This is one of my favorites here, called Yambits Tagua. And there's a female figure here making something or eating something, I'm not sure. Got some big old feet. And over here, see, she's holding something there. And she's on top of another kind of animal figure. And then a guy sitting like that. I don't know if he's a dead guy or whatever, but these are all clearly based on their mythology, which I never had a chance to read about. Then you get crazy ones like this. It's like a dog pile. So many bodies upon bodies. Very, very 3D and layered. Almost like the Gates of Hell by Rodin over at the Cantor Arts Center, a couple blocks from here. It's just bodies upon bodies upon bodies. Some are upside down, some are on top, some might be dead, some of them look more like skulls than normal faces, but all very interesting. And so this is just on the edge of the place. I haven't gotten to the totems yet. Double-sided stuff like that. Some are getting some like algae growing on them by now. Some discolorations. Here's the big fancy carved totem based on the visit to the Thinker statue the guys did at the Cantor Arts Center. So he made his own version of the Thinker in wood. The Thinker New Guinea style. He's got a little character at the bottom. Either didn't have time to finish that one or just left it in there as a little drawing. So, all kinds of ornate sculpture in the back. Really nice. There's another one. Oh, I might have missed this last time because it was behind the bushes. There's a female character there with a lizardy thing on top. Got a little lizard thing with a hook on the top there. Might be a bird, not sure. And then she's standing here. And then goes down to like a face with the tongue sticking out. And some more ornate carvings, more like palm trees or whatever. And then some little animals at the bottom, little frogs and stuff carved into the thing. Hard to see with the bushes growing around it. And then there's more garden over here with the little bridge going across this little arroyo here. But anyway, these are the really complicated ones where they carve the shit out of them. Little guy down here. And then up here they have separation where they carved all that negative space out. It's really elaborate on both sides. So it's a two-sided totem with people facing either way. These large female characters standing here. This is clearly done by Teddy. And another character at the bottom here. This time he has a little grass skirt kind of thing on, a sarong. And you go over here, and crazy, there's like a bird thing on the top. And then just a stack of humans. This one's got a butt sitting on the one's head there. And she's got very long legs and big feet. But it's just amazing, the dissection. Not only have this curvature of the carving, but then the separation of the bodies is phenomenal. You never get this in Inuit sculptures. This one they took so much out, they were afraid about support, so they put a bar inside just to make sure it didn't have issues. Structural integrity. But again, here's a fish, and there's a dude there. No, it's actually probably a woman. They actually give some prominent nipples, although the face looks male. Who knows? Not sure about that one. That's clearly female. And they got a big old bird with a long tail here. It looks like a hornbill there, with the feet perching on the head of this character. See the bird right there. And then you go further up and there are more fishies. This guy's actually standing on fishies. Right there. All the way up to the top. So this is a very tall totem. Looks like another bird at the top. And you can see how, because it's so thin and dissected, they're worried about the support, so they had to put a bar inside here to give extra support. There's actually a bird character here. Very much like Egyptian stuff, where the head of a bird, the body of a woman. And then stand on top of this guy who's resting his chin on a fish. And there's the name Cormorant bird. And Teddy is also part of this too. See, his name is Teddy, was on the other one. So that's that. More stuff about the sculpture garden. I captured all these before in the dark, but I think it was readable, so I'm going to skip it because I'm running out of light. The sun's already gone behind the mountain. And the clouds made it kind of dark early. So here's the main. I couldn't capture this before because you couldn't see in all the darkness how many totems are in one little spot. So counting from right to left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2 unfinished, looks like. Right around here, and then 2 log drums you can see in the middle. One has like a boar head on it, and one has a crocodile head on it. So again, very elaborate. I'm going through this quickly because of the light. Beautiful arching off into the distance. Characters on either side. This one has a big, long head with a big tongue sticking out of the mouth there. And the birdies on the side, lots of decorations. Like it's palm tree bark. Another character here. Some kind of mammal on the side here. There's a turtle on the side here. And look at that beautiful dissection and curves back into another head with a small head on the top and a tongue sticking out. So amazing stuff. You have a shorter one over here. It's also very detailed. Again, it has people and animals all over it. There's a guy at the top, and there's a big mask. There's a big tongue coming out of it. There's a guy sideways, and then looks like a guy upside down with the tongue going that way. And then another kind of a mask here with a mouth, and then there's a, I thought that was an animal at night, but it looks like it's an upside down face. And then you go over here, and you have similar stuff. There's a guy at the bottom, and then a big mask character licking up here. And this guy's got some kind of spiral stuff on the belly. And then licking above here. Oh, the lights came on. But there's still plenty of ambient light to see it. And a little bird character at the top. And this is one of the most elaborate ones. All kinds of curvature, twisting around, wrapping around, all the way to the top. And again, you've got, this one's got a guy in like a crocodile's mouth. And there's actually a face on top of the crocodile between the eyes, made out of shell. And a texture of the crocodile all the way back up. More faces. Looks like somebody playing a flute here above this crocodile. And then you go further up, there's some more masks or heads of some kind. And all the way up to a giant mask at the top. It's very kind of dark from here, but you can kind of see it. So that's just one side. And now you got a crocodile over here. This little ring design. Crocodile going up that way. Fishies lined up in a row there, in a straight line with some other decorations. Crocodile, very detailed crocodile down here. This is the guys who worked on it, I guess. Yamanapi and Yarumi. Yarumi. Shikasaku. And this one has like a snake coming out of it. Look at that. You get a big old snake coming, wrapping around this thing. They made a hole in the tree that the snake could come out of. Snake is all wrapped around here, coming out of the hole in the tree. And then you have another fish coming up this way. And there's some little, like some kind of wild boars or something like that. Decreasing in size as you go up the spine there. And then more crocodile. Oh, that's actually a giant fish there, looks like, not a crocodile. Almost like a sawtooth shark there with the teeth. That's bizarre. And all this like kind of carving and organic pleats and other curves and weird twisty things. Almost looks like the biomechanoid stuff from Giger, H.R. Giger. But this is more primitive artwork. Just happens to resemble that a little bit. Perhaps H.R. Giger studied some of this stuff. So here's one of the unfinished ones. It's got some humanoid figures carved out. A female humanoid there with no face. And they just didn't have time to work on it. It's just got stuff blocked out, but nothing finished. Very rough looking. But cool to see the progress. Here's the crocodile log drum. Big old cowrie eye shells there. Decorations. And then the log drum. Decorative all around. Here's the wild boar log drum. This one has two sections, slightly different tone. I played this that one night. See the decorations all along here, some faces and some other stuff. So between all three of those, you have at least 3 pitches. You can get a little jam going. I'll have to come here one night when no one's here and do a little recording session, because they probably want people playing it, banging it up, but I'll bring some sticks and play lightly. So here you got a tortoise that has more of a humanoid look to it, but the limbs look more humanoid. And then these little tortoise heads coming out at have this decoration stacked here. And then there's a guy's face. And a bunch of series of other masks and faces with tongues sticking out all the way to the top. And then you go on this side, and you've got a female with some stocky legs, holding a baby, but also showing looks like she's pregnant. They have some kind of artwork for her belly, and she's kind of scary looking. And then the happy father probably above. He's well hung, big old smile on his face. And then some birdies, some other artistic shapes above, some faces up there, and then this weird humanoid bird thing. I don't know what the hell that is. I couldn't really see that the night it was dark, but there's enough light I can zoom in here. Let me get this turned. Zoom in on it. So there's the face, the mask, and you go further up, and there's this thing that looks like it's playing something or snorting something, or almost looks like an alien character. Almost like the space jockey. Hey, there's another tie into Giger. Does look a little bit like the space jockey character with the snorkel mask on his head. Like it's a chest burster in the original Alien. And this is a fun one here. Very large, curved totem. All kinds of characters on this one. So you have lizards, you have a drum, you have a woman over here carrying something, and she's got a big belly there. Actually, that's not a woman, that's a guy. There's a schlong right there. Maybe he has some issue with him while he's carrying this belly with a hole in it. I don't know if that was intentional or not. So he's a big stocky guy. Somehow his schlong is way up here, even though his legs are down here. That's kind of weird. But he's smiling. He's having a good time. And we got some lizards here, some more faces, and some more structures all the way up the back. And then next to the guy there's a woman standing on his shoulders. There's all this ornate like scarification or maybe tattoo designs here, just like on here. But these are way more detailed. She's also got the detail on the womb, abdomen area, so maybe she's supposed to be pregnant. Yeah, but she's very, very unhappy. Look at that face. And then there's some kind of a tortoise up there and some other face. And more stuff going way up there. It's a huge totem. And you got a drum in the back as well. So that's cool. And then got most of the totems here. There's a very animated face there. And again, animals going up to, there's an owl on this one. I don't think I saw the owl last time. There's an owl right there, perching on something. And it's got crocodiles on either side. Crocodiles down the sides. This is a cassowary, large flightless bird from New Guinea. You know, distant relative of emus and ostrich and rheas and all those other flightless birds. These are brutal. They have these nasty claws. They'll gore you. They're very aggressive and they're very short and stout. Very strong, aggressive birds. So no wonder they put them on their artwork because they're formidable. And here's like a snake twisting through here. And there's a little mammal here crawling above. The cassowary has got his prehensile tail wrapped around the snake. A lot of details here. And a snake going up. And then there's like a bird of prey there, some kind of a vulture type thing on top of the snake. And then a crocodile head kind of placed in the middle. So you can see the very, very busy collage. And then really detailed crocodile all the way to the top with some birdie stuff at the top. Wrapping all around. So super 3D wrapping stuff. This is one of my favorites. Look at this guy. He's holding on, like he's holding on to dear life on the top of the totem with his big beard. He's got a little pants on and he's wrapped around his legs and his arms like he's holding on for dear life to this crazy collage of animals. But he looks happy. I like this guy. better shot from this angle. You can see the whole body. And so they got the cassowary and more crocodiles and a big old fish. So this one probably has the most animals on one totem. I'm not sure if it tells a single story or if it's just a nice collage of animals. But look at his arms and legs wrapped way behind him like that. That's funny. So yeah, that's a good one. This one's called King One Mary, or King One Mary, or whatever. Saw that one. A couple more left. This is one they never even started on. It's a pole it's roughed out, smooth, ready for art, but there's no carvings on it. It's just been roughed out with some tools. You can see the chisel marks. So it's ready for action, but they never got a chance to work on it. This is a little skinny one they actually attached to another unfinished one behind it because I guess they ran out of time to work on this one, and this one couldn't stand on its own. It's too small. So this is called beetle nut tree. It's in there. And very palm-like bark patterns because beetle nut is a palm. It actually makes this kind of reddish fruit that's stimulant. So people chew it like caffeine. They chew it with a leaf and some, I think some lime added to it as a combo thing, and it makes you spit a lot. So they ban it in a lot of areas of Southeast Asia and the Polynesia area because red spit all over the sidewalk from the beetle nut spit. So this one's character upside down. She's being eaten by this fish, looks like. There's all kinds of decorations around it. And above the fish is a guy. Of course, he's very happy because he's well endowed. Long arms, but short legs. All the way up here. He's got a lot of body ornamentation. Could be tattoos, could be scarification. Big old head with a tongue sticking out. And then he's flanked by some crocodiles and fishies and some other details. And way at the top is a giant, kind of a mask head with a big nose and a tongue sticking out. And then, again, another person upside down on the back. And then these overlapping, looks like snake heads almost. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. And then the most metal of all the sculptures here. A bunch of these skull faces. And Wagyu loves this one. It's very, very metal. I used a red light last time to make them look even cooler, but it's nice to see them in some daylight. This one's cool. It's very 3D. So this is sculpted to have the tongue in front of this skull here. It's actually behind the tongue. And this crocodile is going all the way up to another totem, kind of a big mask face at the top over there. So some of these details I couldn't shoot last time. It's just too dark and the light wouldn't project. So that's the garden of most of the totems. Of course, the first one you get to when you come into the front, assuming you're going in order with these light up path lights here, is this beautiful bird one. Just super, super fancy. Can't miss it. And it's this weird kind of like a crocodile bird, some mythological bird that they have or something, because it's a big bird here, but look at this giant crocodile tail. It's this bizarre kind of almost like a Quetzalcoatl character. You got some other artwork here. Another skull upside down. And you go around here. And then there's a really, really well done female character in front here. Lots of nice curvature, details in the hands. Even the breasts are very detailed. Everything, they put a lot of love into this one. This is like the thinker in the back. They spent a lot of time on this to get the humanoid features. Very, very good. Even her build, her pose, like her musculature. It's a beautiful. It reminds me of the Nefertiti sculpture that's famous that you can get online. It's a 3D print from the original Nefertiti sculpture. Just so much subtlety in the face, softness of the body details. It's like somebody spent a lot of time on this and cared about it a lot. But she does have big old feet, so they have to call those out. And she's got the big bird on top of her head. So this is probably some queen figure. or something. And then the bird is part of the mythology, I'm sure. This is called Kura. But yeah, the most beautiful one of the lot. So much detail, and the human figure just is the best by far. And it does have some dark elements because it has the skull on the back and some other nice details. So beautiful, beautiful work. All right, now to hurry over to the painted stuff before the light goes away, because that was really nice with the light on it, but it's kind of cool to see it without having some artificial light. Painted posts. So look at these guys. Beautiful. Only did a few of these. But there's like an owl character at the top. Kind of an owl shape. So they carved the totems with shapes in mind, as well as some contours and stuff for the paint job. There's like a little owl character with a little, like a horned owl. And then these cool swirly bits. As you go down from the owl, I got these swirly bits here. And some other like faces, artistic faces, like a guy with a beard there, and then a smiley face of some kind, and then some other not so humanoid faces there. And then you have some like microorganism kind of shapes here, and psychedelic. This is very much like some of the Aboriginal art in Australia. Look at some of their stuff they use. They paint this stuff while they play didgeridoo and stuff, all these ceremonial things. There's some kind of like a lizard thingy there in white. And again, it terminates in this little kind of owl shape. The back doesn't have the face on it, but if you go over here, there's another little lizard thing with a digestive tract or something. More psychedelic artwork here. Oh, this one doesn't have an L either, so it's just that shape. But it does have some other interesting patterns and stuff. And then there's this, like a hippie guy here. This is almost like their version of Mr. Natural or something. Very happy guy. So, and again, just like the other carvings, all the way around, you got some stuff to see. This one has a little hippie guy over here too. This is a short one that goes to little points. Carved it to little points. There's the little guy there. Another face and some other weird, looks like mitochondria and some other shapes. We always put things in perspective of what we know, so that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing microorganisms, mitochondria, other interesting shapes. This one's cool too. They actually cut it off and made it a flat piece to put a circle around it. It doesn't go to a point. This one does do a point. And this is the back side of those other painted posts. Again, goes way up there. A little owl kind of figure in the back of this one. Almost reminds me of Felix the Cat stuff a little bit. And it's nice. We've got some birdies making noise back here. I think that might be a robin. And this one's the most ornate because the colors, greens and blues, again like a little owl face. See the blue there, some green and yellow mixed in there. Very colorful. These are mostly untitled. Well, actually, this one's untitled. The other ones have some other titles. I showed them all on the stream, so you can get the titles from my other video. I'm just trying to grab this light as much as I can, because you can see these lights are kind of weak. Even when it's pitch black here and these lights are on, it's not that strong. I had to use my hand light in the previous stream when I was here at nighttime. But yeah, look at that color. Lots of blues, reds, greens. Super colorful. Little owl face on the back of this one too. So those are the four painted posts here. There's one in the distance there. I'm going to walk over to that one next. Oh wait, there's two. Oh, you actually missed these last time. See, it was so dark and this light wasn't working, I couldn't even see these painted posts. Let's do this one first. I think I got this one last time. But as you can see, the light is not working here either. They got to maintain this thing better. Another little owl character at the top. And lots of little squiggles and circles. The lizard-like character looks like he's eating something or maybe emitting this. And this is the first little bird character I've seen on these. Little bird eating something, and then a smiley character here, almost like an anthropomorphic cat or something with the ears sticking up there. This is also untitled. And you got some kind of leafy structure here growing up. Another lizard character in the back. Maybe this is more of a turtle. It's got a shape like it's more like a turtle. And another little character there. And then another owl in the back of this one. Owl-like character. With some other shapes here. And again, they made a spiral on the cutoff piece, so they actually used the structure to change the art piece. Paint around the geometry of the structure. Then there's this kind of depressing tomb-like thing in the middle that's dedicated to people who gave money for this, supposedly. But let's go see the painted post I missed last time, because there's no damn lights on it. Another advantage coming here different times of the day. You get to see stuff you missed. This is called Snake. And all blue and black and blue and red and white, snaking around this snaky thing, and then it has the same kind of an owl thing at the top. And the owl, two-pointed owl, like in a horned owl shape, and then just snaky designs going all the way around, spiraling down the trunk of a well-formed tree branch. And then on the other side, same thing with more colors. Another owl type face, and now racing stripes down here. All the way down this guy. So cool. And then it has a little curly Q at the end, like a Tim Burton style curly Q thing. And then this one's even more elaborate. Lots of colors, lots of patterns. Some rings, some stuff ringing around the tree, ringing around the side, and this kind of stepped structure here all the way around. And again, taking advantage of the shape. See, things go to a certain point and then they paint around the point, and this one curves around that section, so it's almost like they sculpt it, they have a rough idea what they're going to do, and they just go with the flow and just do what they feel. Which is very cool. And that one goes up into two branches. It's very colorful. So if you stand back, it's got one of those little lizard things on it, or a couple of those lizard things on it here. One here, like a little spidery thing there. I don't know what's going on there. And another lizard up there with some colors on it. So if you stand back, this is the two of those things together next to a normal tree. Lots of wild shapes. So yeah, easy to miss that when it's dark here because there's no light on it. The light is not working, sadly. There was a section over here, had signage, but I can't remember if it had. Was it already over here? Oh yeah, those are the elaborate split posts. Let's go over here. This is one more area. I did catch this last time. So just for sake of the layout, we got the painted posts here. Got the fancy one in the front of the exhibit with the bird on it. Got the post garden over there. And the stone post more toward the back. And over here, we got some garbage, of course, because people are assholes. Some really elaborate carvings down here. I got these on the night stream. So this one has characters, again, all that negative space carved out. It's a lot of work. Take a big old log and carve out all this negative space. So it's two-sided, forming like a little table, and then a pedestal at the bottom. And on this side, there's kind of a very short, well-endowed female character. And she's got the tail of this bird lizard thingy wrapped around her neck a little bit. And it's going up the back. So it's like the bird in the front, but with the wings retracted. All kinds of ornamentation here. And you can see her hands holding up the table. And then you go to this side, and the table starts with the guy's butt. And there's the bird on the side, the reptile birdie thingy. And his claws are into the back of the guy's head there, instead of on top like some of the other ones. And you go around here, and again, he's a very happy fellow. He's got big feet, something else quite big, and ornate body patterns. Even this really, it's like, almost like shielding on his pecs. Very, very ornate. And of course, you know, he's a star, so he's very happy. Nothing to be sad about there. And a bird from the front. So if you go to the side view, you can get a better view of the three characters assembling this whole piece with a table. Really cool. And over here, another one you have to go all different sides to see everything. This one is very interesting. They did the nose kind of coming down more like a bill. So there's all this negative space under the nose. It's got like a headdress on, big shells for eyes, and then this crazy stuff coming out of the front part. And some little animal there at the bottom, little face. And some more drawings here, carvings into the wood. And you go to the back, and again, another bird aiming down on top of this woman's head. She's pretty happy too, because, you know, she's also very well endowed. So, again, big feet. So there you go. These are the last totems in the group. I think it said these are more ceremonial totems. Different than the other ones that probably just tell stories. Let's see. I'll take a shot of this real quick just to show. Yeah, ceremonial works. There's one of the guys working on it with his hat. So again, I shot these before the night shoot. You can go in and freeze frame and read the text. But these are the two special ceremonial works they have here. So that's pretty cool. And that is it for the exhibit. They have a little sign at the front. And there's also the map of Stanford campus here, as they have all over the campus. And there's a nice "You are here," right where we are. The red dot right there. You are here. So this is Santa Teresa and Lomita. If you take Lomita right here, that's Stanford Karma, the old Leland Stanford house that's now the home of the Music and Technology Building, where they do all the cool stuff. I've done streams from there. And John Chowning is still Professor Emeritus. They still do performances there for free. I saw Dave Smith do a talk there back around 2015, 2016, something like that, talking about the history of sequential circuits. And it was really cool. Yeah, I got him to sign my Evolver. And this should be assigned for not. Nope, this is just a general sign about Stanford University. I was hoping it would be about the exhibit, but all the signs about the exhibit are black and white. So the first sign you get is once you walk on the path. So again, they don't advertise it as well as they should. Maybe they're doing it to protect it. Less people coming in, less people vandalizing it. I don't know exactly. Who knows? But it is a beautiful place. So you got some cherry blossoms coming in here. Lots of agaves and aloe plants here and stuff. So here's the main entrance, as I showed before. No signs whatsoever. You just have to go, hey, what's this? And then you get the first stone sculpture, which is on 4 sides plus the top. But there's plants in the way, so you can't quite see it too well. But again, smiley characters, big schlongs, lots of nice fertility imagery here. This looks more like Mesoamerican stuff you see down in some of the Mayan stuff in near Cancun, Chichen Itza, places like that. So look at all the aloes here, beautiful. All kinds of nice plants growing here. So they landscaped it very, very well. Lots of palms. They got the famous Stanford black squirrels here. You guys probably didn't know the story of the black squirrels. Word has it they were doing some research on squirrels at Stanford probably 30 years ago, 40 years ago, maybe more. And that was a nice shot of the totems before it gets too dark. There's a whole shot of the totem garden with some daylight. And in the distance is all the stone ones I already showed you. But all the wooden ones are right up front. The ceremonial ones are right over there. The painted ones right over there in the trees. And then that's the whole rest of the exhibit there. So this far in, it's pretty protected, which is good and bad. Like I said, a lot of people don't know about it, so they miss out. And but it does protect it. Maybe less people is a good thing. So there's the signs about the sculpture garden. All the guys here hanging out. There's the regions represented where all these people are from. The Sepik River region. Let's do a quick run through real quick of the guys just for the hell of it. You can freeze frame this and read these. Got to meet all these guys. They're really cool. Got the shuttle kids here, like I said. From the museum I worked at as a zookeeper, but I was helping out with the museum stuff. And got to watch these all built from scratch over several days. It's really cool. But they only had about a week, which is why a bunch of these aren't finished. They just ran out of time. So, here we go. Painted ones over there. Back to the main. Good stuff. And I got here just enough time to get some daylight. It's kind of nice to have the mix of the, oh, there's a beautiful husky over there. Why is this thing off kilter now? Sometimes the gimbal doesn't give me nice, true level shots. I must have moved something. So anyway, yeah, there you go. There's the log drums. Beautiful stuff. I hear ducks flying overhead. Mallard ducks flying from place to place. They give you some benches here. You can sit here and you can draw and contemplate, have a lunch. Actually, did I see these signs before? I might have missed these signs. Cuomo stories. There you go. This will talk about all the stories that they're depicting here. Just get a quick shot. I might have missed these before, so I'll have to read this later. There's the artisans working away on the log drum. the spirit house. So this is where they would have these in their native home. Some kind of gathering place with the totems. I guess they're equivalent of a church. Now they have Yatmal stories. Do this slowly so I can do a freeze frame later and read this. I would like to learn more. I've been here many times and still don't know all the backstory and all these characters, all these sculptures. But I just come back over and over and over. I love this place. See, that one has a light on it. That one does not. At least not from the front, so you can kind of barely see it. So yeah, they got to fix this shit. That one does have a light, but you can't see it very well with the plants in the way. Very sad. Get your act together. Stanford, come on. There's a treasured resource. There's the thinker again. I think I got all the stone ones. Let's catch a few more on the way out here. Now these are all getting lights on them. That one looks kind of like a gorilla over there. There's the headstone, literally. It's like a head, bunch of heads on a stone. I did miss a couple over here. You have to actually walk through this arroyo to see them. Saw the pile of bodies here. I didn't go back to this one yet. Should have come here when it was light. But there's a woman here sitting down and crocodiles on the side. It's like a bird on the top, maybe? Bunch of shit all in one place. Another character on the side here. See, all kinds of... It cries out for exploration. You don't just stand in one place and go, like in a painting gallery. You have to walk all the way around it to really appreciate it. Pretty cool. That should be all the statues. So yeah, pretty much all the back is stone. All the middle is the big totems, and then they have random totems all around the perimeter, except for that one stone thing at the entrance. So you can see the light going through that one over there. So much carving on that one. All that light going through it. It's beautiful stuff. Okay, that is second view of the Papua New Guinea Sculpture Garden, Stanford University. Right here off Lomita Drive. Oh, I hear a spotted towhee. Oh, there's one more sculpture. No, that's the one. I got that one. I'm gonna wait for the cars to go by and you can hear it. There it is. They're sneaky little birds. Red eyes, reddish white body, some dark markings, kind of a black head. Beautiful bird. Giant ground sparrow, basically. More common is the brown towhee, also called the California towhee these days. They're just giant sparrows. But I love this one. It used to be called rufous-sided towhee. They changed it to spotted towhee. And brown towhee or California towhee just has like a single whistle, really sharp sound. I was introducing a woman I worked with at Apple to birds. She liked nature, but she didn't know anything about the birds. So I started talking to her about the birds around Apple campus and then stuff where she was living. And she got way into it, kept coming back to work, telling me all these stories about the birds she was finding. And she kept calling the California towhee one note, because that's all it does is like just one single harsh whistle note all the time. Yeah, so there you go. So down, this is Lomita Drive. That car in the distance is crossing Santa Teresa. That's where the place is located. Take Lomita Drive up here, curve around Take one of the left turns before it dead ends, and you get to Stanford Karma. Nice plants. And they have all these like parking lots around here. And again, as the security guard told me last time I was here, after 6 p.m., might be after 5 p.m., but at least after 6 p.m., they don't care about parking permits. You can park anywhere, no hassles, no tickets, no nothing. So, because there isn't really public parking here anywhere except for a couple meters, and they're nowhere convenient. So it's best to come here when you can park and not worry about it. Parking during the day is kind of a nightmare, unless you want a nice fat ticket. So I'm gonna end it here. Let's see if I can get a shot of that bird totem to the side here. There it is. Finish on the bird totem. There you go. That's it for now. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.